YouTube? It is Chris here, and in today's episode, man, do I have an exciting review for you today. This is the Vidarr by Tope Knives and Bark River. Now, this little guy, when I first got it in hand, took me by surprise completely, because when I actually picked this thing up and put it in hand, two things hit me really quickly. One, the fit and finish and the ergonomics on it are absolutely amazing, but the really big thing is it's really lightweight. This thing doesn't even come in at 10 ounces. I actually have folders that I carry EDC that actually weigh more than this. Now, what I'll be doing in this video is down in the video description, I will put a link where you can go pick this up or learn more about it, but I will also be dropping all the tech specs as well. I love American makers. I love really cool mid-techs that have beautiful fit and finishes, but I also like high-grade performing knives. And this knife is no exception. It has a nice fuller to keep the weight down, and it has a really cool aggressive aesthetic that kind of flows naturally with the clip point of this knife. And woo, this dude can do some serious work. Now, Bark River does something very common that I like a lot in their knives, is the fact they put a convex grind on here, as long as with the bevel for sharpening is also convex. So there's a lot of meat behind the edge, so to speak, so when you're having to do put their knives through any hard or medium tasks, they will be able to excel at them without worrying about the potential for chipping, blade rolling, and whatnot, because there is more steel behind the edge. Now, one thing I want to do, and I will be throwing in some clips of all the usage footage and things we did outdoors with it, but I love the brass bolsters and the pins that go along with this canvas micarta. I'm actually more fond of the linen micarta variant, because linen micarta is the material is a little bit thinner, so you can get some really cool waves, patterns, and lines in here. But this is made of A-tool tool steel, and it's an amazing steel for anybody who is not familiar with it. It is used for basically machinery, and this thing has to basically, this kind of steel is the steel that's used to help do die casting and creation of other steel products. So if this is the type of steel you need to use to create other steel products, you know this is going to make an awesome knife steel. This only has a 6.5, just under a 6.5 inch blade. It is 11 inches overall. But this is a knife you would definitely have to get in hand. I love the dangler attachment that they offer as a separate add-on piece for the actual leather sheath. The leather sheath feels really nice. What I love the most about Bark River knives and Tope knives is all of this stuff is created and designed right here in the United States. And too often we get a lot of the cheap stuff that comes through. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there is for some people this will have a little bit of a sticker shock, but the fit and finish on this and the performance of this knife is absolutely flawless throughout all the testing we did. And we actually had a blacksmith, another knife maker, help me with this test. So you have two diverging opinions that actually came to the same conclusion. This is a really well-made knife. Now, for those of you who follow me on social media, you do know that I am a Viking fan. I do have just a little bit of Nordic heritage in my blood from where I come from. But for those of you, like I said, follow me on social media with all of the bearded Viking axes, the war hammers, and all those stuff that I create and customize myself on my Etsy page. That, not to take away from this video, but what I like is the name of this knife is called the Vidarr, which in the Viking meaning for that is called Forrest Warrior, which is perfect because this is a really good survival knife, camp knife, bushcrafting knife. It'll do pretty much everything. And I have not touched up the edge on this thing at all. You can still see all of the wear and usage marks on this thing. There are no issues with the edge whatsoever. It's just, whew, they did a really good job on this knife. And literally all of this is gonna sound like me fanboying, but here's the thing. When there's a knife that's lightweight, it's really sharp, it's sturdy, it does its job really well, and it has an amazing fit and finish on it, well, duh, I'm really gonna like this knife, and I'm gonna say I like this knife. Now, is this knife for everybody? Well, no. Could it be? Possibly. But this knife starts at about 224 bucks. This particular model is actually $232. And that's where I say it's not necessarily for everyone, because not everyone feels it's necessary to spend that kind of money on a knife. But if you want something high quality that's just as good or just a little bit under what I would call high-grade custom knives. This is the Bark River as far as their mid-techs go. This is about as good as it gets. Now, understand no one has to believe me, but I mean, if you see someone who resharpens, anyone who actually does knife sharpening or is a knife maker will know that the fact that I have not touched this up because of all the close-ups that we're doing on this blade, it still has the original bevel, but it still is super sharp. And yeah, it's like just a smidge toothy, but it still slices. It's still very, very, very usable. It's still shaving sharp. This knife is just ridiculous. Like, I couldn't believe that we were able to chop down, what is it? 3 vines, 2 saplings, and 1 small tree. Not to mention all the other craziness we did with it. With the feather sticking on really hard, dry, seasoned mesquite wood, which anybody who lives out here in Texas knows that mesquite wood is not to be trifled with, and all of the other goofiness and slamming down on the cutting board that we did. This edge still holds true and is still working really, really, really well. So, who is this knife for? Well, obviously you need to be an outdoorsman and appreciate knives. But for those people who all want to get away from something like, they want to kind of upgrade from a normal outdoor bushcraft knife and they want to move into something a little more high grade, and they just love the aesthetics of a knife. This is definitely a user knife. A lot of people, when they see $200, $300, $400, $500, $700 knives, they're afraid to use them. And I'm like, no, use it. Take it outside and beat on it. If it's that expensive, it should perform just as well. So that's exactly what we did. We took this bad boy out and used it, and oh, dude, I can't even really bring it down to you how well this knife, like the tip. There's nothing wrong with the tip. There's no deformation on this blade whatsoever after all the whaling we did to it. Dan Tope is a really, really talented custom maker. I will actually put his Facebook link so you can check out some of his custom work, and I will also put a website where you can actually pick this knife up or learn more about it. But all in all, I like this knife. This is a really, really good outdoor bushcraft knife. It will do the job, but the big key selling points here for me are it's only 3/16 of an inch thick, so it's not too big. It is a full-size knife, which means it's over 5.5 inches long, so it'll definitely fit the role of a survival knife. But it's also made of a really good carbon steel, which is A2 tool steel, but the weight is an awesome, awesome factor. Its balance, ergonomics, and weight really drive this thing home for me, as the fact that it's only 9 3/4 ounces, which is absolutely superb. Just for reference purposes only, but this is one of my main everyday carry knives, which is the Cold Steel 4MAX, and they weigh about the same. So you get more blade, and that's going to be a little bit stronger because it's a fixed blade, but it's an outdoor survival knife that weighs just as much as a folder, and that's amazing. That's the point I'm trying to drive home, is you have great aesthetics, beautiful fit and finish, and superb functionality, and not a lot of weight, and a really good form factor. But there's one quick announcement we want to give you guys before we go. We have our impending 50,000 subscriber giveaway coming up on our channel, where we're going to be giving away $5,000 worth of awesome gear and prizes. And if you want us to hit that mark quickly, definitely be sure to share this video out with your friends and family and your social media networks so we can keep growing, thriving, and making awesome videos for you guys. But that just about does it for now. If you like the Vidarr and the way we did the test footage on this blade, and you are excited about the 50,000 subscriber giveaway, definitely throw this video a big thumbs up and share this out with your friends and family and your social media networks. But that just about does it for now. I hope you guys have an absolute wonderful day. I'm out.